Hello and welcome! It is Gauntlet of Greatness time once again. We're playing Historical Standard. We've got 16 of the best decks in the history of the game. And we're now looping around through the groups for a second time. So we're going to spend today in Group A, where when last we checked in, Faeries and Tinker were winning. A couple of new entrants into the tournament, Replenish and ErhnaGeddon, were losing. So the way this works, if you get to 2-0, you're in the top 8. If you get to 0-2, you're out. And in fact, you're probably getting relegated out of the tournament completely and replaced for next season. Well, that'll leave us with a pair of 1-1s after we play this second week of group play, and the two 1-1s will play for a second spot in the playoffs. Big picture, by the way, we do have 3 decks that have been kicked out of the tournament for being too good. Tolarian Academy, Yawgmoth's Bargain, and Memory Jar have earned their spots in the Hall of Fame. Whoever wins this tournament gets to join them. Maybe it'll be one of these decks. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm hoping it's Rebels. Hoping it's Rebels. If they're not going to get relegated, I hope they get retired into the Hall of Fame.
Funny. Yeah, the Rebels deck just absolutely refuses to lose. Kind of crazy. All right, here is the ErhnaGeddon deck that we've been playing with. Established in 1995. This is, in fact, the oldest deck in the tournament. It got the runner-up spot at Pro Tour 1. So you've got some good stuff going on, right? Land tax is pretty powerful, especially Sylvan Library. You get to reshuffle every turn. You get to put, you get to take lands out, reshuffle. You've got some pretty good utility cards, 4 Swords to Plowshares, 4 Disenchants. Gotta be honest though, the 1995 era creatures are not amazing. You get half a dozen elves, sure. You get ErhnaGeddon. ErhnaGeddon, and apologies, the original Arabian Nights artwork does not exist on Magic Online. I mean, this art is objectively better, even if it's not nostalgic. But this is 4/5 for 4 with a drawback, but trust me, that was so much better than everything else you could play at the time that we played it, we splashed for it, we were happy. Sarah Angel also makes an appearance in this deck, and the Autumn Willow is 6 mana 4/4 with effectively hexproof. Yeah, these are not the best creatures in the history of the world, but you know what? You drop one, and then you blow up all their lands, and you get there. So that's kind of the plan with this deck. The other side is a little more Urza Saga block-fueled combo action. Where's my Replenish list? Can't find it. You can regale them with the virtues of this list. Some more shadow while I look at this. Sorry, let me close my email.
Did you lose your deck list? I have a chance.
Where the heck?
Oh man, I've got some white border Felwar stones. I can't wait. Pull those out.
Yeah, I guess I need to re-add this. Yeah, you talk about this list. Let me go see if I can find my.
All right, sure.
List.
Let me go pull it up. This list is good. You put enchantments into play and then you beat them over the head with them. That's good times. Let me pull it up and take a look at it.
I found it.
You found it?
Yeah.
All right.
Here's the Replenish list. Ugh. White bordered Sky Diamond. I gotta fix this. I can't do it.
You can't deal with this?
Can't deal with white bordered Sky Diamond. Did any other white bordered cards sneak in here on the relist? I've got a white bordered Circle of Protection black in the sideboard. I don't think that's really gonna come up. So this Replenish list is kind of crazy. The key card is the card Replenish. So this is an Urza's Destiny sorcery. Return all the enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Well, Urza Saga had a card called Attunement, which allows you to draw 3, discard 4. So it's kind of a card filtering card. It's a card disadvantage card. But if your goal is to fill up your graveyard with enchantments, this is a great way to do it. Frantic Search is another great way to sort of filter through your deck, find your key cards, but crucially dump enchantments into the graveyard. Now, the best enchantments, the time where this deck peaked was when Mercadian Masks came out with Parallax Wave and Parallax Tide. These things are just naughty. Parallax Wave, this is the reason the Rebel deck keeps winning, is that it's just got Parallax Wave to play it fair, to just remove blockers, buy some time. This deck, though, Opalescence turns on all kinds of crazy combos. So Opalescence means when you replenish those enchantments into play, they're creatures. Everything is a creature. Parallax Wave is a 4/4 creature. Well, think about what Parallax Wave does. It lets you remove creatures from play, but if it's a creature and it can remove itself from play, all of a sudden you have a never-ending string of Parallax Wave tokens. It never actually fades away. Similarly with Parallax Tide, it never actually fades away. And if you're nimble enough, that is, if you understand the way the stack works with these things, you can actually remove their stuff and then as a response, remove these enchantments from play so that their stuff is trapped in exile forever. So just super naughty combos once you get Opalescence with the Parallax cards in play. The thing is, even without those combos though, just the fact that this 4-mana sorcery can put, 20 or 30 power onto the table it's not bad for 4 mana, right?
Mine's a 4/5 that gives you Forest Walking.
You get one 4/5 creature. I get like half a dozen or whatever.
Right.
Meanwhile, Energy Field is decent. You've got an Enlightened Tutor engine to go find crucial stuff. That's why there's like one Sky Diamond, one Seal of Removal. It's a, one Seal of Cleansing, similar, and some Silver Bullets in the sideboard. It's a pretty good deck. I definitely was happy to add this into the field. It felt like the one Urza block deck. This was a big deal. This was one of the best decks in Standard for most of the year. It was one of the best decks in block constructed after the craziest stuff from Urza Saga block actually got banned. So yeah, we'll see what happened. It did lose last week, so maybe we've worked our way through the Saga block brokenness. Maybe. I don't know. I'll believe that when it happens, right? The Tinker deck is also Saga fueled, obviously.
What did it lose to last week? Or last time we were through this division?
It lost to, was it Tinker or Faeries? I forget which way the pairings went.
Okay.
Oh, it's Faeries. It lost to Faeries. Because Tinker was the one that crushed ErhnaGeddon. That matchup was just...
Yeah, that wasn't pretty. At least here I have Disenchants, and they'll do something. Promise.
All right.
I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
A match up in Constructed Getting Serious. I will play the Replenish side. A little more interesting to watch from the hand there. So come fight me.
Good luck. I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, I'll meet you on Skype, and we can chat more after the match. Match is up. Honest. There we go. Yes, I would like to play first. Thank you. It's funny. This hand looks completely empty, right? It's 4 lands, a Sky Diamond, but this will fill my graveyard up, and this will go find me the Replenish if I don't find it via attunement. So I'm pretty sure this is a keeper. Interestingly, I don't think I use the Mystical right away. Because if I can attunement my way into a Replenish, that seems better. Also, how stupid good is Sky Diamond against the ErhnaGeddon deck? He heals up my lands. Oh, I randomly have the one piece of artifact removal in my deck. Yep, Llanowar Elves. There was a conversation in chat about white bordered and black bordered cards. So 9th edition, I'm pretty sure the base set was white bordered, but the foils are black bordered. I think that was true for 8th and 9th, and then I think with 10th, they finally went to all foils all the time. I think that's how it worked. It was definitely one set where only the foils were black bordered, and I think that was true for 2 sets, 2 core sets. Sylvan, not bad. Ooh, Strip Mine is a magic card. Yikes. Glad I have Sky Diamond for blue. I wasn't really thinking about Strip Mine. I still get to play Attunement. Seems fine. I don't think I have any reason to activate it. I mean, I can respond to a disenchant by returning it, so I may as well get my draw step before I make decisions about what I'm going to discard. Is this draw, pay 8 life, check to see which 3 cards I got? Or has he got something more exciting going on? Yep, pay 8 life. What else is he going to do, right? Once I go off, I just win. His life total is unlikely to be super relevant. Oh, he's got that combo too. Keeping a full hand will give him more life off the ivory tower. Is he going to sit on disenchant mana? No, he's going to attack. Still sorts the plowshare mana. It's a good card. Wow. So I want to replay Attunement. Sorry, give me a sec to deal with this. I tried closing my email and it didn't close. Because it wanted me to react to something. Alright, email should stop making annoying noises. So, Armageddon. I'm worried about Armageddon. I don't know that I can do anything about Armageddon. I should replay Attunement. Oh, I could. Yeah, I mean, if I can replay Attunement and leave up Mystical Tutor. I can't quite port to stop Armageddon, but I mean, if the Armageddon's here, he's icing a board where all he's got is a Llanowar Elf, and I've got a Sky Diamond, so I don't think that's the end of the world. I think I discard Wave, Opalescence, and then like Tutor, keeping land? So that I can recover if there is an Armageddon? Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, it wouldn't be crazy to leave myself an Enlightened Tutor to respond to the Attunement with, but because I don't have a Replenish yet, I do want the ability to Mystical Tutor into one. Next turn I can actually replay Attunement and leave up Port, which, I mean, we'll see what he does on his turn. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't use Port this turn and replay the Attunement, so I chose to keep 2 planes in my hand. But if Armageddon doesn't happen to be here, then I can probably replay Attunement and leave up Port mana. He's not paying life? Because he has a reshuffle effect, or what? Fourth mana? There's the Armageddon. Not happy. Do have 2 lands in my hand. So now I need to build lands, right? Like the fact that Attunement is card disadvantage, I kind of like all 3 of these cards, so I think I'm going to let it sit there for a couple turns. Yeah, the reshufflers in that deck with Sylvan are the land taxes. Man, he's down to 6. If I get off a Replenish, I'm just going to win. I don't think he can have enough plows and disenchants to survive. So if I Mystical here, I can then draw Replenish. Sorry, I'm going to draw 3. Yeah, it doesn't... I don't have enough cards in hand. Alright, I think now I do this. Discarding 4. I mean, Wave, Opalescence, Land is pretty exciting. I can then either replay the Attunement or leave up Mystical Tutor, but not both. Yeah, I really want to Replenish next turn. Is it time to discard the Attunement so I can keep a spare land? I think it is, because if he comes up with a Strip Mine or Disenchant for my Sky Diamonds, I'm going to need a spare land. I'm getting questions about the restream of the Japanese Vintage Championships. Yeah, speak of the devil. There's the Strip Mine I was afraid of. Happy to have kept the land. It's not tomorrow. It's a week from tomorrow. He has both? Awkward. I don't really want a Mystical now because it doesn't do me any good. I need to draw lands. So there's an Asia Vintage Championships happening this coming weekend. They're on Sunday, the 27th? Japanese time, so it actually starts Saturday the 26th PST. And I wonder if I could have had a port in my hand instead of losing it to the first Armageddon. Anyway, so the Vintage Super League guys are going to do an English language restream of the broadcast. They're going to broadcast in Japanese live, and then we're going to do a restream of it, but that'll wind up being a week from Tuesday, so it'll wind up being on the 29th of March. We'll do that. Should be awesome. I don't know if we're going to have time to do the entire tournament. I mean, I honestly, my plan is see how the tournament goes. That's interesting. Oh, that's great. Sure. I now have the 4 lands for the Replenish. I can bounce something by time, and then I can now afford a Mystical for the Replenish for next turn. He almost kept me off 4. I mean, well, we'll see. I'm not there yet. He could come up with, what, a Strip Mine or an Armageddon. So anyway, my plan is to see how long the Age of Vintage Championship matches are. I don't know. It's 5 rounds of Swiss and a cut to top 8. I don't know if we're going to have time to do all of that on a Tuesday night. Maybe we start a little early. Maybe we do just the top 8. Maybe we cherry pick. But I mean, I want to see how much content we have, and then I'll kind of play it by ear. They're going to upload all the Japanese language content to YouTube. So that's my plan there. My channel, I think, is the plan. I don't have permission to do the Magic channel. They make you have a contract in place dealing with who owns the content and blah, blah, blah. Do I have any reason to seal? Not really. I'm willing to take 4. An Armageddon here beats me. Wow. Huh. Once again, I cannot afford a Mystical Tutor? Yeah, can't afford a Mystical Tutor. I mean, part of my problem is that I never drew a counterspell. Yeah, I've never had 4 mana at any point in this game. And I haven't drawn a counterspell at any point in this game. I certainly don't regret any of my attunement decisions. I feel like I've done that about right. Like, I prioritized keeping lands at every opportunity. The only decision I feel like I maybe could have done differently was the sequencing on the port. Right, since I had lands still in hand on that first Armageddon, but I really was thinking that on the next turn I could use the port to stop him from casting Armageddon. Oh, maybe I had 4 mana once? I think I had 4 mana on turn 4, but I didn't have anything yet. I was just, like, activating Attunement for the first time. Out of lands. Yeah, I mean, if these were lands, there's still a small chance I could outrace these elves, but 2 Armageddons is going to be tough for me to deal with. Yeah, I could have ported instead of playing Attunement on turn 4, but like I didn't have anything. I felt like I needed the Attunement. Yeah, maybe I could have like ported on 1 turn once to buy myself a turn. The thing was, the first Armageddon didn't beat me. Like, part of my thinking there was, whatever, he Armageddon's here. He Armageddon's down to like his Findorum Elf, my Sky Diamond. And there's actually, if he's not holding a disenchant, there's a small chance I can energy field. I draw a land next turn. I didn't think I was going to lose to the first Armageddon. If he Armageddoned that turn, we both would keep a mana. I was holding lands. Yeah, I could have ported, but to what effect, right? I port, then play another land drop. Now I can Attunement port again. He just plays 5th land, or 5th mana in Armageddon. I'm not sure that works. Yeah, I mean, chat is saying the first Armageddon did beat me. The second Armageddon beat me. I don't think that's... I mean, I know what you mean. I'm just not sure it's a useful way to use the words. Land? Nope. Wow. Armageddon, ladies and gentlemen. Powerful card. Definitely a powerful Magic card. Alright. So this turns off his elves. Yeah, Energy Field's not good. Seal of Cleansing is only okay. My core deck is pretty solid. I just have to not get killed by Armageddon. Does the Lilting Refrain help with that? I don't think it's worth bringing in Curse Totem just to turn his elves off. Yeah, it's really like, what combination of Daze and Lilting Refrain do I need? It's not really an Enlightened Tutor matchup. Right, I don't think this is a Silver Bullets kind of a matchup. I think this is... maybe call 1 Enlightened Tutor? Bring in 3 counters? Maybe Daze is good. Huh. Daze seems good. Like, picking up an island, this is obviously good versus an Armageddon. Maybe I played that first game greedy. Maybe if I, like, played a Replenish, like, 1 Opalescence and 1 Parallax Wave into play, that would have actually been good enough. Maybe. I don't know. I'll play it this way. Once again, I have attunement, and that seems like enough to fix everything. No, maybe I'm supposed to save the blue mana. Probably wasn't supposed to expose my island to a strip mine. But I got away with it. Do I frantic search first? Probably not. Again, card disadvantage, and I want to fuel attunement. I only need one attunement, so it's pretty close to free to discard the rest. Nice. Alright. So do I go on the port plan now? Is that the plan? I can just port the hell out of him. Buy myself some time? And not replay attunement. If I find a fifth land, I can replay attunement and still have one port up. Also, by keeping my mana untapped, I can use Frantic Search to... No, I can't untap. I can't get off a counterspell because I need the one blue mana for the Frantic Search. Alright, let's do it this way. So Library is a pretty good card. I feel like that means I can't wait forever. Who needs to wait forever? Show me some stuff. Okay, so I can put Opalescence and 3 copies of Attunement into play if I cast my Replenish now. I can also Frantic Search first. Alternately, I can leave up Counterspell or Port. It doesn't actually help. The problem is if he disenchants my Opalescence, then I haven't accomplished a whole lot. I can play Attunement and leave up Counterspell. I guess I lose to, what? Strip Mine. I lose to Strip Mine Armageddon? I mean, I feel like this is the same spot I was in last game where, like, I could replenish for some value, and I chose not to, and then I never had 4 mana for the rest of the game because he resolved an Armageddon. Interesting. I guess I can leave up Port and Counterspell, but not play Attunement? What does that accomplish? What that accomplishes is potentially giving me a turn where I can then leave up Counterspell again. I have to race the Sylvan Library. It kind of showed me last game that if I let him just have Sylvan Library, he'll draw enough extra cards that just the utility of, Disenchants and Strip Mines is actually capable of winning the game. I'm going to put 3 attunements into play. I think this is good enough. I do think I'm going to play a land because I want to be able to counterspell and do things. Sylvan Library is now a 2/2 creature. Hilarious. I mean, I think he also has Wrath of Gods in his sideboard, but the fact that I can return these attunements whenever I want means I'm not worried about creature. I'm not worried about swords or wrath, and my odds of being able to find a new Replenish are actually quite high. Yeah, he can't really get in here because he's too far behind on board. And if he doesn't, then I start to get counterspells online. Well, there's that. All right, time to go find a replacement. I want the island. Enlightened Tutors is not Replenish. Am I done with this frantic search? I think I'm done with this frantic search. This is not a Wrath of God game. Lilting Refrain doesn't do much. I'm going to leave up Counterspell. Sure. Interesting. So I can Parallax Tide his lands, buy myself some more time. I can play Attunement and leave up Counterspell unless he Strip Mines me. Parallax Tide to turn off Armageddon is pretty tempting here. To be clear, what I need is a Replenish. I need a single copy of Replenish, and then I win. I mean, I can Frantic Search first if I want to. Right, I have to discard 4 cards. I kind of want to keep Island. One, two, three, four, five, six. Oh, I have 8 cards in my hand, and I get to keep 4 of them. Counterspell, Island. I think I need Attunement. I can leave up 3 blue mana and sit on Counterspell. So if I keep Counterspell, Island, Attunement, and then whatever. Another Counterspell, I guess. Our Frantic Search. What goes wrong if I tap out for Parallax Tide? And then I hit, well, I have to hit all 4 lands if my plan is to turn off Armageddon. Not a bad plan. Oh, I can port 1. I can turn off 3 lands and port once. So what is that plan? I keep Tide, Attunement, Island, Counterspell? I'm going to try that. Yeah, and then next turn I can replay Attunement plus leave up Counterspell. Slant tax. Kind of funny here. Guess I've also could have used Parallax Tide defensively. Just leave it there with full 5 fading counters. Go ahead, you want to Armageddon? I'll save all my lands, and then my Parallax Tide will fade away. This feels like it pinches him. Pinches him more than that line. The hell is he up to? Good God, man. I forgot that was a card. I did not play around the 1 balance. Perhaps I should have left up Counterspell somehow. Jeez. He's balancing me to 0 lands. Yeah, there's a 2 mana Armageddon if you have Zero-Nord balance. Unbelievable. I should have left up Counterspell instead of this Parallax Tide. Ah! Well, I'm going to save 2 lands. Yeah. Wow, I went after his white mana. He had to play white mana to set this up. He does lose both his creatures. Tied defensively would have potentially beat this, as I at least would have been able to defend my land. Of course, he did balance himself down to 2 cards. But he's got Zero-Nord Sylvan, and he's about to get some lands back. Wow. kind of forgot balance was legal. It's a one of. It was restricted at this point in time.
Hey, Randy, you there?
Yeah? Yes? What's up?
It's not letting me cast a Llanowar. Are we not in my main phase?
We are in your main phase.
So I'm just double-clicking Llanowar Elf. Nothing is happening.
Maybe your client's frozen? Quit and
Oh.
restart?
Yeah, I will restart then. I don't want to concede the match. My choices are concede match, so it thinks I'm still here.
You don't actually have to close that scene. You can close the main program without closing that scene.
Hilarious. Alright, let's reload and hope it...
What a crazy game. I had options, but if I wasn't playing around balance at all. I wasn't even thinking, like, it wasn't a card that was in my head.
Sure.
God, totally wrecked.
You got rid of my stuff. I'm like, well, that turns off ErhnaGeddon.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I thought you would just put Parallax Wave into play and just leave it up, and then that would turn off any kind of shenanigans I would be trying.
That might have been better. I don't know. Maybe this line was greedy. It felt pretty good to just deny you the ability to cast spells that cost more than a couple. What could you do for 2 mana, right?
Exactly.
What could you possibly do for 2 mana?
Yep. There we go. All right. I'll silence you again.
He has it 1 card in hand. Yeah, Tide defensively would have played around this. I could have... Playing Attunement with Counterspell mana up loses to Strip Mine is the reason I didn't like that line. I mean, I could have done that. I talked about doing that, but it loses to Strip Mine if I do that. Which is not restricted. Strip Mine's a 4 of in this environment. His standard. You are not a land! God, 1 land from Attunement. Wow. A large monster. 4 power. Okay. It's going to end the game. Probably going to end the game before I can draw 2 lands off the top of my deck. Ugh. Oh, ErhnaGeddon. Look at him. He's like, you're not going to draw land. I refuse to let you draw land. I'm going to punch you in the face first. Wow. This little his life gain Sylvan combo has worked out. It doesn't change the clock. Come on, land, please. So now I need plains replenish. Oh no, it doesn't have to be plains. I need land replenish. In my top, 4 cards might be good enough. Of course, if ErhnaGeddon's here, then we're just dead. But I mean, I couldn't not play Attunement. That'd be crazy. He can and should ErhnaGeddon here. No, land drop probably means he's not. Oh, he is. No, Sarah, Angel! Hello! 4/4 flag vigilance. Too good! How do they make creatures that good? He's got 10 power for next turn now? It's not even a lethal clock. Yeah, 4, 8, 9, 10. Come on, deck. So if I Frantic Search, I can go Island, Frantic Search, Floating a White. to get the double white for Parallax Wave. And that can buy me several turns. So that says discard Opalescence, Counterspell Island? Yeah, I think that's my plan. So then I go Island, Frantic Search, Floating a White, untap Plains Island, Island. If I find a Replenish, I win. If I don't find a Replenish, I play Parallax Wave. Of course I don't find a Replenish. I have to discard 2. I guess they're Frantic Search Addercar, because I have time to play Attunement and dig that way. Yeah, next turn I can play Attunement, and I shouldn't be dead because I'll be under Parallax Wave. And if he disenchants my Parallax Wave, then I might wish I had Frantic Search. It's tough though, I'm running out of cards in hand. If this is a Frantic Search, well, yeah, I could get Draw Step. I could Frantic Search next turn. I guess if he disenchants my Parallax Wave, I will wish this was a Frantic Search. These things happen. It's only one more card. It probably should be a Frantic Search. Attunement's only actually going to see one more card. Well, but the thing is, if he doesn't have a disenchant, then I'll get to Attunement multiple times. I think I let the elves hit me because I want more turns. Pretty sure that's how I play this. Turned on land tax. There you go. I'm not going to find out about this right away either, right? He's going to do a turn. If he does have the disenchant, he'll disenchant on my end step. Oh, what am I supposed to do? If he taps out for disenchant, I go digging for days. Doesn't have it. Great. Is it 2? He's drawn so many extra cards. Oh god, is this Armageddon? Oh, it is with the elves untapped too. Sick. This is Armageddon. And the elves can pay for days. Man, there it was. You know what that means? I would have found it with Frantic Search. Yeah, Frantic Search would have found it and won the game. I did not find a Daze. Ugh. I'm not even sure I should have returned Attunement there. I was thinking I could find a Daze, but the elves took that blind out of play. So this was probably just a mistake. I mean, whatever. The ErhnaGeddon is almost certainly lethal. Yeah, I just gotta keep planes. I shouldn't have returned Attunement. Well, whatever. Unbelievable. It took, what, 4 ErhnaGeddons. But he's going to get there. Man, Frantic Search would have worked. I would have Frantic Searched into that Replenish. Cast Replenish. And then just, obviously, I've got Opalescence with both Parallax Wave and Parallax Tide. He's down to no creatures, no lands. I don't know if my play's wrong, though. Wow. I mean, chat's accusing me of greed. It wasn't greed. It was me making a judgment call about what was most likely to win me the game. I mean, I don't know what greed means in that context. It's like, if he has... the thing is, I know he doesn't have ErhnaGeddon in his hand. He would have already played ErhnaGeddon if he had it in his hand. So I know he doesn't have it. He can draw it. Obviously, he's looking at extra cards with Sylvan every turn. Which is why the card I was thinking about was Disenchant, because I didn't know whether... Yeah, we're going to be 1 turn short. Even if I top deck it, there's no way. I was thinking about Disenchant because it was possible that he had a Disenchant in his hand. Disenchant would have made me prefer Search over Attunement. Because it would have been Disenchant on wave, would have forced me to go for it last turn. But if I wasn't forced to go for it last turn, then I thought Attunement was better because I could activate it multiple times to go digging farther. God, Strip Mine too. Crazy. There they all are. ErhnaGeddon, Sarah Angel, Llanowar Elf with Land-tacked Sylvan Zerrin Orb all lined up. He's drawn so many cards. Balance Zorbed me. I haven't been Balance Zorbed in decades? Unbelievable. Awesome. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Like we were saying, ErhnaGeddon's too good.
ErhnaGeddon
Can't beat
is
ErhnaGeddon.
obviously too good.
Get out of the tournament, Urza Block deck. What are you showing up thinking you can beat Balance Zerrin Orb?
Balance Zerrin Orb, Balance ErhnaGeddon. Oh, sorry, Zerrin Orb, ErhnaGeddon. Zerrin Orb is pretty good.
Well, I don't think that was the good card in either of those combos. Not gonna lie. Unbelievable. Good job.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow is right. Yeah, I actually could have won the second game if I make a different judgment call. Obviously, I went Attunement, Attunement, Attunement. If I find a Replenish, I just win. Right? If there's a second Replenish in the top half of my deck, I just kill you because I have...
Oh, I agree. Your library was full. I mean, your graveyard was full.
Right. I mean, I have Opalescence with all the Parallax shenanigans, so you have no creatures and no lands. GL, right?
Right.
But, so, when I fail to find the Replenish, it all comes down to, I get to keep one card, and it's either Frantic... I get to play the Parallax Wave so that I don't die, and then I get to keep one card, which is either Frantic Search or Attunement. And I kept Attunement because it would potentially give me the ability to search for multiple turns. It turns out that when you ErhnaGeddoned me, the top card of my library was Replenish. So had I kept the Frantic Search instead of the Attunement, I would have found it on the previous turn and killed you.
So your chance of that, though, was like 3 out of 35 twice over with the number of cards you had left?
I mean, basically, I see on the next turn, I'm going to see 2 additional cards with Frantic Search, but because I get the mana untapped. But by the turn after, I'm a card ahead with Attunement, and by the turn after that, I'm seeing 3 extra cards every turn. The game goes.
Oh, sure. Well, yeah, right. One is long term, one is short term, right? Like, are you concerned about me doing something stupid to you, or do you have extra time? And my Sylvan library was out of extra cards at that point because I had gone through all my life and drawn all the extra cards.
Yeah, and you didn't have an Armageddon, or you would have already played it. So
True story.
I'm not going to say I'm intimately familiar with exactly the right judgment calls to make in the Replenish versus ErhnaGeddon matchup. I think it was a close call. I may have been wrong. Like, it may have been that, like, my odds of winning on the next turn are so much higher. The other thing is that keeping Frantic Search is better if you have a Disenchant for my Parallax Wave. Because Parallax Wave, it lets me still win the game where all I do is with the wave is Fog. That's the thing that I think pushes it over. I probably should have kept the Frantic Search. Still, the fact that you just never ever let me get to 4 mana. God, Strip Mine was insane for you. So frustrating. Like, I couldn't even leave up Counterspell for Armageddon because I'm just like, well, I only have 2 blue mana total, so if he goes Strip Mine into Armageddon, I'm screwed.
Right.
Anyway, interesting game.
Interesting game.